On today's episode, we will cover some heavy and possibly triggering topics, including sexual assault, grooming, molestation, rape, and sexual abuse. Please continue watching with caution. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, we are Society and Pop Culture 101. And the last time you heard from us was in 2023. So, first and foremost, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you guys.
It's good to see you. Glad you're back with us. We missed you.
Tons.
All right, so quick rundown. Last time you saw us, we were the BK Spades show. We wanted a new show that felt more inclusive and was better for everybody to feel like they were part of the family. So we went into our bag, went to the back, and then we came up with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful new branding, I guess is for lack of a better term, where we can have some fun, we could be entertaining, we could be engaging, and we can learn a little bit on the side. So welcome to Society and Pop Culture 101.
Class is now in session.
Boom, baby, we here. Okay. So the concept here, because we got to talk about concept. This is what we're doing. We're going to be bringing you characters from TV shows, movies, stuff from pop culture, and we are going to be mixing them in with society issues and try to explain what's going on with certain things. Hopefully you catch it. If not, just raise your hand in the comments and we'll make sure you get what we're missing or what you're missing.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, we're going to go back to like 2015 for a second, and we're going to be talking about Jessica Jones.
Okay.
We're not going to review the show because we want to focus on two of the characters from that show. If we do a review or a full breakdown, maybe later. So, boom, look at that new screen right there. Ooh, look at that size. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to raise the board and pay attention to the board. Students, keep your eyes forward. Here we go. Boom. All right. So that rhymed. Look at me. Bars.
Bars.
So on this concept, and by the way, y'all, we're mad rusty today. So on this concept, okay, I'm mad rusty
Say
today.
I'm mad rusty too. It's been forever. I'm just glad we here.
Right. I really did miss you.
I missed you too, brother. I missed you too. And we here.
We family. Novacaine, do you mind giving us a bit of the rundown on the subject that we got today?
The subject is Jessica Jones, like my brother just said here. The code name is Jewel. So if you have watched the show, you know, or if you may have read the comic books and you just know about Jessica Jones, you know that her code name is Jewel. She made her debut, alias Marvel Max, 2001,
That
back
was the
in.
adult. That was the adult branding. I feel it.
I don't know nothing about no daggone Marvel Max. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to go and look into that. She made that MCU debut back in 2015, November 20th. Yeah. I would say that I did watch a couple of episodes of Jessica Jones, and she's definitely one of the stronger shows that Netflix did for sure. Here's the quick rundown. Jessica walked away from a promising superhero career. She became a PI to make ends meet. She suffers from PTSD due to being mentally controlled by this Killgrave.
Purple Man.
She was a victim of continued.
Sexual
We didn't
assault.
talk about no. I stopped because we didn't talk about like if we want to be cussing. If I could actually say sexual assault, because censorship and blah blah blah.
Right now, I'm not too sure. Let's not curse, but
All right, so since it's bleeped out on there, I'm gonna
no,
bleep
no,
it
no.
out
I
too.
think you can say sexual assault. Go ahead and say that
Okay.
stuff. But we're just trying to
Okay.
keep it a bit PG right now.
Okay. She was a victim of continued sexual assault. She's a badass with super strength, super badass. She was able to break away from Purple Man after killing someone on his orders. Okay, so she was able to get away. She's an alcoholic. That's 70% of America right there, ain't it?
Dang, you made me curse. Dang.
Oh yeah, you definitely not supposed to be cursing, sir. She also punishes herself, is close with friends, and treats strangers negatively.
So
So
what
Jessica is a complete badass. I'm
she
gonna sum
is.
this quick, sum this up from what I just gathered. She's a complete badass, especially from what has happened to her throughout her story. And because of her being this badass, she don't really get along with people too much. She's like, I might mess with you, but I more than likely won't.
So um in the MCU characters, at least in her childhood, there was an event that caused her to be kind of cold and standoffish because her parents died in a car accident. So she was living with her friend Trish and her mom. And there's some turmoil there. I don't want to say too much about it, even though I'm gonna spoil a lot of it. There's still storylines and stuff that you can find. And I think because they just put them on Disney Plus, you should go watch some of this yourself because I think she became cold because originally she wasn't cold. She was happy, go lucky. And we're probably gonna get into this when we talk about Killgrave in a second. Um, she was just a person that was aspiring to be a superhero. She didn't want that life at first, but her sister, stepsister Trish, was kind of pushing her in, and she's like, "Hey, you got superpowers. I got you a costume. Definitely go out here. You could be like the Avengers." And
Mhm.
she goes to save some people. And when she goes save this little girl from getting hit by a car, because again, her parents died in a car accident, I believe, it kind of gave her that I need to go save this girl moment. You know, it's like everything in this series is connected. Even her connection to Luke Cage was more than just the sex they were having. But
Mhm.
I think a lot of what happened to her is a direct cause of what happened with her and Killgrave and how he treated her and what he did to her. And you mix that in with the childhood trauma, not having the parents, having to live with other people, learn other people. I think it was just an explosion. She was always going to end up like this with all the circumstances that she hit, kind of like
Mhm.
a domino effect. And what we understand about sexual assault and how people react to it sometimes, they might move toward becoming nymphomaniacs. I think we
Yeah.
talked about this, right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say that confidently. They might become nymphomaniacs. They
You could be
might close
completely cut off from it.
that part. You could punish yourself because you feel
Mhm.
like I did this to me and this is my fault. And no one should ever feel that way, but sometimes it happens. If you do feel that way, make sure you go get therapy when
Yes.
you feel like the strength you have. I know this is a bit of a heavy topic. But what happened with Killgrave completely changed her life.
Mhm.
And we're gonna talk about Killgrave right now because I feel like his part is very important to her part. He's the catalyst for why she became this dark, brooding character.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's on you. You got it, sis.
So Zebadiah Killgrave is the man's name, played by David Tennant. His code name is actually Purple Man.
They
This
never
is
call him that in the show, I don't think, by the way.
they don't never call him in the show.
No.
Oh, okay. Boo. Comic book debut, Daredevil Marvel, October 1964. So that's one of the throwback joints.
Yes.
He's been around for a break. This character's been around for a break.
A bit of changes back and forth, and I think even
Mhm.
this Netflix show may have played a role in how he is viewed now.
Okay, but then he made his MCU debut November 20th, 2015. So that just means sometimes you just gotta stay down and then next thing you know you're gonna come up. You just don't know when.
I
That's
guess so. You know what I'm saying? You
hey,
hold it down long enough, you gonna make it.
you're gonna make it. So a quick rundown on Killgrave. He comes off as a charming gentleman. Uh-oh, red flag. He witnessed Jessica Jones save someone. He uses his power of manipulation to control Jessica and others. His control only lasts for 12 hours. Oh, wow. Mm.
Yes.
He, that's, that's wild as hell. He kept Jessica as a sex slave and repeatedly, yeah, I know that word, and he repeatedly took control of her.
We're gonna say our word for now.
He repeatedly R-worded her. Grew up wealthy, he uses his money as a front to keep manipulating. He does not understand what he did to her and others is wrong, and he displays irrational and erratic behaviors, probably due to his affluence. So this is a guy that has this power because he has this money, and then he has superpower underneath all of this.
Yes.
And his superpower, you can literally be under his control for 12 straight hours. That's a half a day.
Yeah. And it played a huge role in how Jessica ends up getting away. Um, like we said before, whole time this man saw her save the little girl, right? Once he saw her, he walks up to her. He's his charming self. He exchanged pleasantries. They talk about who she is and what she does, that type of thing. And eventually he uses his control powers, which I think is a pheromone he gives off, but he speaks it and people automatically do what he says. And he used that in the comics politically and all that good stuff. Even has ties to Kingpin.
Dangerous.
He is very dangerous because when you link a power like that to being charming, he gonna bring you in, but then when you close enough, he's going in for the kill every single time. And
Mm.
he manipulates Jessica. The first thing he had her do, or one of the major things he had her do, was to take off her clothes. And he repeatedly, like you said, have her as a sex slave and repeatedly R-rated her. And I think she actually, I believe, under his control, you're still there, kind of like you can't control yourself, but you can kind of know what's going on in the moment. So she's very aware of what's going on here. And the reason I want to bring in his wealth is because it speaks to his mindset. At one point, um, Jessica was going to, after he was gone for a while, he was away doing some things, and she was at a hotel room that he had bought for them. Lavish, like anytime any of her friends come for her and ask about her, he tells them she's fine, and he puts her in these lavish hotels and take her to these big dinners, so everybody thinks he's a good guy. But anyway, one time he was gone for a while. Jessica stands on the balcony, and she was going to unalive herself, and he happens to come in the room, and then he told her to get down, and of course she has to obey because now he's close to her, and the timer resets. Um, how she gets away control after he told her to unalive that person, after Killgrave told her to
Mm.
unalive that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was strong enough for her to break the control because she felt so emotionally wrong about killing someone because she never had to unalive anyone. So that was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so another thing about Purple Man here, Killgrave, his affluence. All right, so this man grew up with money. He grew up silver spoon, you know, and I think he didn't understand what he did to Jessica was wrong. He thought it was just normal. Like, it's okay. Like, deep down within him, and I hate to make this comparison, I do believe he may have had actual love for Jessica,
Mm.
but he was just showing it wrong
He
because
was sick.
he was mentally ill and he didn't know it, And he also had some trauma going up in his childhood, and I will save that for the show. The way he grew up, his affluence, his money, his wealth, and how he's always been treated by other people around him. In his mind, he's doing nothing wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
that actually kind of creates PTSD for Jessica. And it also goes into how she treats people. And it's watch the show. So
I am.
let's move on.
I am.
Why are we talking about Jessica Jones and Purple Man?
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh Lord.
This is our society's Purple Man.
Mm. Mm.
I know that sounds weird. It's like, oh, how we go from superheroes to this guy? So recently here,
Mm.
it's been a while, and it's been a long timeline with Jeffrey Epstein, but we are now at the point where they are actually releasing information and the list. And if you have been under a rock or not paying attention, you probably missed this list, given that everything else is going on in the world. But this list got some heavy hitters on it. But what do you think when they said they was going to release the list? What was your reaction?
Man, when they said they was gonna release the list, I was the first thing I was thinking was when, right? That's the first thing I'm
Yeah,
thinking. When are they actually going to release this list? Then they were saying how they're gonna uh do this and that and do like a at first they want to do like a part list or something. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't care what y'all do, just drop it. So I was very interested to see who is on this list because we did have like a list that dropped what 2020, 2021,
something like that.
2020, something like that. And who knows if that was accurate or not. I believed it. Some of those names actually match the names that are actually on the list. So
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. But teaser, we had presidents on this list. We've had
the
politicians,
prince.
the prince. Shoot, what else? Celebrities, big name celebrities. Now, full disclaimer: before we talk about this list, we are going to talk about Epstein and his cohort and a few other people that
Yeah.
was in his circle here.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? Let's get into this. Let's talk about
I
Jeff.
think I think Jeffrey Epstein and a lot of men like him that have that type of power are like Purple Man.
Are you
Yeah.
saying like on the mental side of things, like they feel like they can do it because they're used to everybody being yes man to them?
Yes. Key person, Harvey Weinstein. You
That
know,
whole thing, that was a lot of power these people have
that was a lot of
accumulated.
power. That was a lot of power he had.
Apparently Diddy as well,
You see what happened with him?
since we are talking about Purple Man. His mode of manipulation, while Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein may not have superpowers, their superpowers is their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
That's a
people
fact.
around them. It's the politicians that they know. It's the other celebrities that they know. Their
Mm-hmm.
power is the fact that they own so much and they have accumulated so much wealth that anybody that come into their circle, you feel like I have to do this if I want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And with Jeffrey, he had a friendship with Lex Wexner, which was, I believe, is the owner of Victoria's Secret. This is early in Jeffrey's career. It's like mid-level 2000, 2001 stuff. And he would use his connection to Wexler to manipulate and get these girls to come from their modeling gigs to go into his island and stuff.
Le-
So
Les Les Wexner. That's a weird last name. Wexner.
yeah.
Former CEO of Victoria's Secret.
And apparently, according to Rolling Stone, he was the only confirmed um partner or client of Epstein. Now, the thing about Epstein is he had clients, he never revealed who they were, he never revealed what he actually did. So a lot of this stuff we don't know. And let's get into it a little bit
Okay,
because
Jeffrey Epstein. We already know this guy. Financier.
yeah, that is how it was put. See, right there, like
What is that? That's a made up word. See, at age
so
66, he allegedly died in prison, but it was officially ruled as a suicide. His death definitely sparked conspiracy theories everywhere. In
it
his
did.
20s, he taught physics and math at K through 12 Dalton School in Manhattan. Epstein bought Little St. James, a
Ho-
72 acre.
Hold on before we go forward. This man was a teacher,
A teacher. I was going to leave that at the end. He's
and
a teacher.
apparently he was pretty smart. You teaching physics
Yeah.
and math, you can't
And
be slow.
math.
So this man obviously had a history with numbers, by the way,
Hmm.
and he also, we'll get into it, but it's a
Mhm.
big jump in between that and what he did next. So continue.
Epstein bought Little St. James, a 72-acre island, in 1998 for 7.95 million. In 2016, he spent 20 million for Great St. James. That's the two islands that's down there.
Yes.
hmm Um, First of all, when people be buying islands, I'm just like, where are you buying it from?
And the thing about him was after he became a teacher, it's like, where are you getting the money from?
When you were a teacher, that's
You ain't making that kind of money as a teacher. So
where
that
did he
means
get the
that was
money from?
nobody know. But he started building connections a little bit here. He ended up wanting to quit his job as a teacher and become crap. What was it he became?
Was his
Basically, he
parents
wanted.
rich?
No, I don't think so. I just think he wanted to work. I had the article and I lost it. Basically, he wanted to work in
Oh.
banking and financing and make more money. He didn't want to be a teacher anymore. So he ended up making his money in other ways.
So after he spent the 20 million for Great St. James, it ended up Little St. James was redubbed the pedophile island by the natives. Damn! Not pedophile island. In 2005, a woman came forward claiming a wealthy man named Jeff molested her stepdaughter. The connected dots for the Palm Beach. Oh, I'm sorry. In 2005, a woman came forward claiming a wealthy man named Jeff molested her stepdaughter. This connected dots for the Palm Beach, Florida PD in an ongoing investigation for him. In 2008, Jeffrey cut a secret deal with U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta. Acosta became Donald Trump's Secretary of Labor from 2017 to 2019.
Stop right there because that
Dirty. This just
that was
escalated quickly.
it. Did I we are skipping over a lot here. It's the timeline was too long. We'll be here all day trying to
Trying
figure
to,
that out.
yeah.
Slide 2 here.
The deal granted Epstein immunity from federal prosecution, and he pleaded guilty only to solicitation of prostitution and procurement of minors for prostitution. What? What
Yep.
is that? That's not even a sex offender charge.
But I just know a lot of people started looking at him sideways
He's a
after this.
monster.
I mean, they were already looking at him sideways because everything was going on at the island at this point anyway, right?
Exactly.
Continue.
Epstein only ended up serving a 13-month jail sentence during which he was allowed to leave jail 6 days a week. It's only 7 days in a week.
My man only was there 1 day a week to
He
serve time.
That was a vacation. He spent the
He
night in jail for
he
13
only
months.
got 13 months on top of
So
that.
that means that was only 13. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that math right. I'm not doing that math right. So only four times in the 4 times in a month.
Yep.
What?
My man, you're right. That was a vacation. That was a vacation.
So what's that? 54 times in a year?
I don't even
In
think
that
he even
13
did it.
months?
I don't even think he did it.
I
At this
don't
point,
even
I'm like,
believe at this point did he even show up?
my man
He just
probably
had
had
to
so
check
much
in.
money and so much power. He probably was like, hey, just go ahead and sign me in.
Just
I'm gonna
sign
stay
me
at the house
in.
tonight. Hold on, but we don't know that for sure, so we're just gonna go allegedly.
Allegedly. So
For
during
real.
which he was allowed to leave jail 6 days a week to work out of his Palm Beach office. So they let a monster. So they didn't give a monster charges. They gave him a slap on the wrist. Um, and then they let him continue to be a monster 6 days a week during his sentence.
If I'm not mistaken, this is basically when everybody, I think Acosta had respect at this point, but after this secret deal and the fact he lost respect, he lost a lot of respect at this point.
In 2018, the Miami Herald identified over 80 women who said they were molested or sexually abused by Epstein. His death is reported to be August 10th, 2019, allegedly.
Sorry, my bad. I wasn't on it. Allegedly.
Between 2000 and 2008, Epstein's clientele list was extensive, with celebrities, lawyers, politicians, and presidents. Presidents. Not just one president,
Yep.
presidents.
There were like two or three.
Yeah, I'm hip. The list with those 170 names and about 900 pages of documents and testimonies was just released January 3rd, 2024, with plans to release more on a rolling basis. And I can't wait.
So we got to talk about his right hand woman, the British socialite, as the article called her. Sources is going to be at the end of the video, by the way.
We like to call,
Ghislaine Maxwell,
we in the streets, they call this type of person the bottom B.
the bottom B. Oh yeah. All right, you gonna run it down?
Yeah, you know it. Right hand to Jeffrey Epstein. She was convicted in 2021. She is sentenced to 20 years in prison. She could have got more, but hey. The convictions were sex trafficking a minor, transporting a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, conspiracy to entice a minor to travel with the purpose of engaging in illegal sex acts, conspiracy to transport a minor with the intent to engage in sexual activity.
Th- She did a lot, man. She did a lot. And them charges was actually fair. She probably could have did more time for what she did because well, we got like 80, and that's not to say she was in the room with every one of them, but I think, and this is just me speculating, so we just gonna go ahead and say allegedly,
Allegedly.
she may have been manipulated, like say Jessica
Possibly.
at the beginning of this.
Parts
Um,
of me even feel like they had to charge somebody, so they charged her because, he's not here no more.
yeah, and the fact that he's not here, and the fact that he may have manipulated her, I think they may have took it as light as they possibly could have for her.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I'm
just
just a
making sure you
little
good.
I am a little ick. I got the little ugh
Yeah.
feeling because we talking about these people and I don't really care too much about them, and especially these atrocities that they committed upon this world. I just
I,
ugh,
I
ugh.
agree with you. Um, I watched a documentary on Netflix a couple of years back, right after he got put in jail, and
Oh, the one joint that everybody watched. I forgot the name of it. No, it was
I
two
can't.
of them that came out back to back.
I know I remember watching one when they were like really focusing on what was going on in Miami
Yeah.
and all the massages and how they were manipulating people and these
Yes.
young girls that was coming in, the way they was treating them. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was mad gross, man.
That's the
And
one. That's the one I watched. That's the one I
and
watched. And then they started talking about how like they went into like all his different like properties and
yeah,
how they found this and that and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's the one.
and it it is real sad
Oof,
that we
it's
have people in the
very
world
sad.
that are so manipulative but so charismatic that you don't even see it coming, you know?
Yeah.
But back to just Lane real quick. I feel like she
Mhm.
may have been manipulated to a degree, but after a while, you get that Stockholm syndrome, or you just get used to it, or
Yeah,
then you
you
start
get
liking
used
it.
to it too.
And again, allegedly, this is me speculating here. I think she went into this with one way, and then she just got used to doing it, and then she started enjoying it, which is how I was able to keep going for so long without her coming out saying, "Hey, this is what's happening." She just followed it. Maybe she loved him. Maybe maybe the money was just too good. Well, whatever the case, she deserves the time she got. All right. Are you ready to talk about this list now? Do you have it?
All right, so at the top of the list, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend, never even been married, sentenced in 2022 to 20 years in prison in sex trafficking. Prince Andrew, second son of Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain. Bill Clinton, former U.S. president, not surprised. Donald Trump, former U.S. president. Definitely not surprised. Hillary Clinton, former First Lady to Bill Clinton, also tried to run up against Donald Trump. David Copperfield, American stage magician, not surprised. John Connolly, New York police detective turned investigative journalist who investigated Epstein. I don't know who that is, honestly. Alan Dershowitz,
Stop
prolific
right
lawyer.
there.
Okay.
We got to talk about Allen. I know not everybody follows the political perspective here,
Uh
and
oh,
y'all
give
know I
me
like
hip.
politics.
Give me
So
hip.
this is Donald Trump's lawyer too, by the way. This is
This
the
is the
man
one
that
that we was just talking about.
yes, not Acosta though.
Oh,
that's
the
the district
Acosta is
attorney.
the other one.
I don't think I put him in the thing, but anyway, Alan Dershowitz is still in the political spectrum right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's still there. Um, this is the man that facilitated all the sweet deals that Jeffrey Epstein got.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, he did a thing on Fox News where after the list was coming out, and I'm pretty sure, again, allegedly, when all them people was trying to fight the list for coming out, I'm telling you, he was probably one of the top people fighting this. But anyway, he did an interview where he literally tried to say that the people that are talking about what he did or in any capacity is anti-Semitism.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, bro, you were there. What did you do while you were there? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You was just I do this out of the goodness of my heart. How much was it? How much did he pay you? Like we as American people, we deserve to know, especially if you're dealing with our politics.
Mm-hmm.
All right, continue. I'm sorry.
Mm. Leonardo DiCaprio, actor famous
What?
for his roles in Titanic. Actually, I'm not surprised at that. Al Gore, former U.S.
Yeah,
Vice,
they said Leo like young women, didn't they?
huh?
Younger women. I've
Huh?
heard that before. Or is it black women?
What?
Leo.
Who? Who are you talking about?
Leo DiCaprio.
Oh no, Leo. They said that Leo only dates younger women.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope they ain't too young.
yeah. I think his current girlfriend is super young. I think. Don't
Okay.
quote me, but I think if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me. I try not to keep up with too much of the celebrities, but
Yeah, I feel
from
you.
if I feel like I came across a post in the past month saying his most recent girlfriend is young,
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
and it's just a trend.
Yeah.
Al Gore,
That
former
shocked me.
why? It's Al
First of all,
Gore.
it's Al Gore, okay? This is the father of the internet. Okay. It
He
shouldn't be
is the
shocking.
okay, thank you. And he was the vice president of the United States. What?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
he was the vice president to Bill Clinton.
Touche. I just don't want to believe it. Al, come out, tell us what you was doing, man.
And then he tried to run for president. You remember that one time?
He was supposed to win,
And
but
didn't.
Bush beat him.
Allegedly. I mean, George Bush was the president, but you remember the recount. You remember what happened. Oh,
He's
this
like,
is this is the
allegedly.
this is one of those learning moments for the kids. Yeah. That probably didn't was it gonna happen, kids?
Yo, this is like the beginning. You know how we all felt about Bernie Sanders when he lost? That's how everybody felt about Al Gore because we had so
Oh
much love.
yes.
We had so
No,
much love for
yes,
Bill.
yes and no, but Bernie didn't get that far.
They cheated Bernie, okay? Just
They
like Al
definitely
got
cheated
cheated.
Bernie.
But
Al
anyway,
Gore, former U.S. Vice President. Stephen Hawking, renowned theoretical physicist. That's a shocker. I want to say his
why?
name is. Let me go look at myself in the camera. Like I said, we need to figure out what was the ties and what he was doing.
You're
We
right.
should we tell the people who Stephen Hawking was?
Do they not know? How you not know who Stephen
If
Hawking
you
is?
don't know who Steve, I don't. Well, our age group should know. Our age group should know. But kids, if you don't know, go look it up. All I'm
Stephen
gonna
Hawkins
say
was so
is,
popular with kids that they had a character on Dexter's Laboratory that was
oh my
basically. I
gosh,
think it was voiced by Stephen Hawkins.
what if Stephen Hawkins was helping him get away with a lot of crimes?
Talking about
Because he was
Epstein?
smart too. Yes.
I don't
What if
know.
he?
It's
What if
possible. Anything is possible at this point. But I honestly
he
think,
passed away too, though? Right.
yeah, yeah, I think he is gone.
Mhm.
I still think that they just did a movie with about Stephen Hawkins. What is
I
that,
ain't
like
watching it.
2015, 2016? I think I watched it. He was still good at that point. He wasn't on the list. Again, we don't know what these people are doing here. But
This list is long. We gotta get back in it.
okay, but yeah, I think most of the people that was helping him is definitely the lawyer Dershowitz. Whatever.
Dershowitz.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right. Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister. I want to say that's how you say his name.
It sounds
Michael
right.
Jackson, famed musician known as the King of Pop.
You can
Marvin
skip around
Minsky.
if you need to.
Okay, I'm gonna skip around because I don't know who Marvin Minsky is, but artificial intelligence pioneer. Mm,
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 the way
Kevin
AI looking.
Spacey.
Ooh, Kevin
Exactly.
Spacey. Oh, that was not shocking.
That wasn't shocking at all. George Lucas. I'm on the fence,
Shocked.
but not really.
I was kind of shocked. I was kind
I'm
of
kind
shocked.
of.
I'll be honest.
Wow. Kate Blanchett. Naomi Campbell. Oh.
That makes sense though. They're models. Well, Naomi Campbell is a model. I can see that.
Bruce Willis. Damn.
I don't want to say nothing about Bruce, but Bruce, what was
Cameron
you doing there?
Diaz is an American investor.
Noam
Um,
Chomsky.
who's that?
I know his name. Like you usually hear his name a lot. Um, he's a linguist and a political philosopher.
Oh yeah, you like the politics, so you seen his name, son. Chris Tucker, he was on that original list.
Yeah,
Sarah Ferguson, that's the former wife of Prince Andrew.
they put Prince Andrew out the family though, didn't they? After all, the first time his little allegations came up a few years back,
Uh,
they basically
I
disowned that guy.
think kind of sorta.
Robert
I don't
Kennedy
know.
Jr.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr. Now that's a little kind of shocking.
And that the
Not
guy that's running for
not
president right now.
not American politician and conspiracy theorist. Is he?
Yeah, yeah, I think he's running right now.
Of course he is. Victoria Bean, Rebecca Boylan,
Yep, he is running. I was right.
Annie Farmer accused Epstein of sexual assault. Maria Farmer, Annie Farmer's sister. Epstein's butler, Jojo Fontanella.
That's not shocking. I mean, it's the butler,
Is
so
the butler, yeah. And then they have a lot of names that don't have a meaning
hold
next to
up.
it.
This Ron Eppinger is a known sex trafficker.
Big old
What?
Les Wexner's name. I don't like how many doctors are on here.
I mean, oh man, I see. It is a lot of doctors. Stephen Olson.
A lot of physicians, psychologists, psychiatrists who treated Virginia Giroff.
And that's the
So all
crazy
of the
part.
people that had treated her has a connection to him.
Yes, that is
Oh
such
my
a,
god.
and that's the part of the list nobody's talking about. Like we hear all the names and we're all shocked about all the celebrities, but we're not shocked by the meat and potatoes at the end of this list. This man was so powerful that everybody that was supposedly helping this girl
Helping this girl, right?
was on the
Because
island with him.
it's a couple of psychiatrists, a couple of psychologists, and a couple of physicians.
Now we don't know exactly what they were doing on
So
the island,
and
but
they could have been falsifying documents.
they could have been falsifying documents. They could have been manipulating her mentally.
Oh,
And
I'm
this
so
and this is
upset.
why and this is why I said Purple Man was an excellent person to talk about for this situation because he basically did that too. He had Jessica sent it off by herself. And while he didn't have a bunch of people trying to help her, he was basically filling that role for her. He was supposed to be everything to her.
Oh no. I just Googled this lady and it says 8 hours ago that she claims, allegedly, she claims that Jeffrey Epstein paid her $15,000 to have sex with Prince Andrew.
Whoa. Is this new information?
This, I just put her in Google search and that's the very first thing that popped up.
So I got this while you're reading that. I got this article open from the Rolling Stone here. It says
Ooh.
one of the alleged victims of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein claims she had sex multiple times with former CEO of Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner, according to documents released on Tuesday. The damning claim stems from a 2015 civil case against Ghislaine Maxwell by Virginia Jeff. Is it Jeff? Jeroof? Jeff?
Virginia G.
Is as hundreds of court documents describe the alleged criminal activities of Epstein began to be released to the public last week. Wexler was named in the previously sealed court records among many of Epstein's long rumored powerful friends. Was accused of having sex with Miss G multiple times. When asked in the deposition if the approximate range of number was more than three, Miss G replied, more than three. And she said, possibly, when asked if it was more than five, per documents obtained by Rolling Stone. And it also says here that she claims she had to wear different lingerie for Wexler, that Ghislaine
So
set it
they
all up.
traffic her with multiple men.
Sounds like it. What was the breaking the new news you got?
Yeah, the $15,000 that he tried to pay her $15,000 to have sex with. No, she was paid $15,000 to have sex with Prince Andrew.
So
She was only 17 when this encounter happened in Ghislaine Maxwell's house. So there's that.
wow. I take back what I said about Ghislaine. She may have been more diabolical than I alleged.
She was definitely a monster too.
Yeah.
But she probably didn't start out as a monster. Maybe, maybe not. Who
A
knows?
lot of times our young people are manipulated by the fame, by the cash, by the money. And the story is always similar. They were young, they were impressionable. They didn't want to disappoint the adult. I'm not saying that was her, but I'm just saying as an overall, with all these young women that was there, the first thing that happened to them was, hey, listen, you could get further in your career if you just go with me, you know? And they trusted it because you knew the owner of Victoria's Secret. So if you know the owner, then you know it looked like you had some form of pull. And this is what happens online every day. People get in your inboxes on Instagram and, oh, you got great pictures. Oh, you look amazing. You can model this. Let's start. It starts small. It starts so small, and then just like with these girls, it started so small, and then it just
Mm-hmm.
escalated into something else. And by the time they realized
Mm-hmm.
it, it was too late. They were already on an island. They're already on a private jet on their way to an island, promised fun and excitement. This is what they got in the job for, but they didn't sign up to be sexually assaulted. They didn't sign up to be R worded. So we need solutions for this type of thing. And I think our first solution is to educate our children to know
Mm-hmm.
not every to discern between a good opportunity and a quick buck,
Mm-hmm.
and to let them know that everybody's not meant to be famous. Not everybody you talk to has your best interest at heart. So
Mm-hmm.
you definitely need to be careful with who you associate with, who your children associate with, who our teenage girls are associated with, all the way down to making sure that they're safe when they leave the house every day.
This is making me so angry.
I'm just
It's making me
women,
sick.
the amount of women that were on that island. the amount of celebrities that are on that island. We have to stop idolizing celebrities, and we have to stop empowering people to these such high standards that when they speak, we automatically feel like they're right. People like we said in this
Mm-hmm.
list, it's people like Stephen Hawkins, uh, President Obama, President Trump. It's so many respected people that are on Michael Jackson. Now I know again we don't know why they were on the list. We don't know, but I'm sure we'll find out for most of these. But it's still these people we had high esteem for, and to watch them be associated with someone like this is still kind of shocking, and it definitely lets the air out of the bag of who we consider to be legends and what they do behind closed doors, and
Right.
why. And we definitely should be more careful about the people that we give influential power to.
Got to be more careful.
These people are writing our laws, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you have people arguing against these people every single day about protecting our children. And this is the type of stuff they got in their closet. And it's more than just the people that's on this list. It's still stuff going on now.
It's still more names to come.
We're about to find out exactly what was going on at that island pretty soon. I keep seeing people say this is the year of revealing, and it
Yeah.
has been proven so far.
It's currently the 10th day of the year, and baby, flashing lights everywhere.
For real. From Cat Williams to this list, man.
Oh my
Truth's been
God.
falling out. And we're not even uh TD Jakes, that situation with Diddy. It definitely looks like, and I don't know what's true or what's not as far as TD Jakes go. And I'm not the one to get on here talking about stuff like that, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Another man in power.
A lot of influence.
A lot, a
Man,
lot of
y'all,
influence.
man, we better get out here praying in these streets to reveal the heart of these people. You're getting out here following people, and, and you don't even know who you're following.
You don't even know who you're following. That's why you just never should just. You shouldn't even be worshiping a whole nother human being in the first place.
Facts.
But when you do, look at what happens.
What's the solution here? What do we do?
I like how you said that. We're just gonna have to teach the children because it's not gonna be something that we can teach adults. You know, we can say hold our brothers and our sisters accountable all we want, but what if they're not keeping themselves accountable at the same time? Then what if they put themselves around people that enable their behavior, and now they're even more of a monster?
Right?
So I like what you said about teaching the children for sure, because I believe the children are the future, which they are. And it's one of those things that's going to have to be filtered out through generation. But then it's also going to be one of those things that's super hard because, like you said, these people are making the law. How can we even trust this? My number one, they're going to come get me when I say this. We just need to just start everything over. Overthrow the government.
No, we're not. I'm gonna just go ahead and just say allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly overthrow the
We
government.
got
We're
we
not overthrow.
we're quote unquote a democracy, right? We're not going to overthrow the government, but we can take control. We've talked about this a whole bunch of times, like wanting to be attracted to children and you're a whole adult is just sick. It's sick. What
Absolutely.
makes you want to have that much control over somebody that you want to manipulate every single thing that they do? Why do you feel like your ego is so big that you have to stroke it so much that you have to have children grovel at your feet. If you were that powerful, how come you can't get grown ass women to do it?
Ooh.
Mm.
Man, you don't know who you can trust. Remember when we was all cool with Jared from Subway?
Man, I wasn't cool with Jared. Y'all was cool with Jared.
Now don't be acting like you wasn't cool with Jared now. Don't act like we was by ourselves in this. Everybody was cool with Jared. We
You
were
just
rooting for
never
you, Jared.
know. Just like this Epstein, I need to know who did what and how many people were involved and everybody that was in the back too.
Facts. Because if you went, you're complicit. If you went and that was going on when you was on the island, you're complicit. Gotta end this thing now.
Let's wrap it
So,
up. In conclusion,
in conclusion, make sure
it's sick
y'all
out
like.
here. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Not for
Nope,
real.
we're doing it again. In conclusion, it is sick out here, and we need to start taking care of ourselves, our mental. We need to really start paying attention to who is doing what in this society so we can get them the help they need. So we can have a better, more healthy society. All right, classmates, that's the end of our lesson for today. But first,
Don't forget to cite your sources. Here is a list of our sources from today's class. Take a screenshot, press pause, do whatever you need. You got them right there.
for Society and Pop Culture 101, I am Instructor BK here with.
Instructor Supernova Kane.
Thank you guys for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Class is dismissed. Thanks for attending.
If you or someone you know have suffered from any sexual assault or harassment, please call the National Sexual Assault Hotline 1-800-656-4673 or go to online.rainn.org.